Satou Sabally finally had a good game in Unrivaled, and it was a bad time. The Phantom won a game. Like, the Mist are awful. Like, I just want to put it out there. The Mist minus Jewel Lloyd are actually awful. It is Stewie and friends. Courtney Vandersloot as a starter in Unrivaled is crazy. Courtney Vandersloot is one of the weakest players on Unrivaled, and she's starting. And, like, they were so poor, the Mist, that they could not even take advantage of Brittany Griner. They actually could not take advantage of Brittany Griner on the defensive end. There were multiple lineups that the Phantom were running where they didn't have a good defender on the floor, and the Mist still couldn't score. Like, there were times where they had Griner, Katie Lou, and Natisha Heidemann, I think, on the floor. None of them can defend. And in fairness to Satou can't guard a parked car either. But she can be so elite on the offensive end. Like, she's as far as, like, just skills goes. She's one of the most skilled players in the WNBA. I still think for the Fever, it's not that much of a loss not getting her. Still an upgrade on Alyssa Smith. She could figure it out under Stephanie White, but, like, she does play with negative motor, but the skill is just, it's there. Like, the way she played, like, early on in the game, 3-pointer, like, she was unconscious from 3. Like, 5 of 6 from 3. They're trying to guard her. She can go downhill on Rakia, use her size, finishes the right hand. But also, there was, like, when, like, the Mist went up for a bit, Satou got them back in the game by herself. Some of the worst defense I've seen in the history of basketball played on her. So Satou, known shooter. Look at how Aaliyah Edwards guards her. Like, Satou didn't literally walk into a wide open 3. That is horrific. And then, I think, is this the next possession, I think? She goes and hits another one. Aaliyah Edwards leaves her wide open again the next possession. And she's 3 for 3 at this stage. Leah Edwards is trying to guard her. In fairness, tough step back by Satou. But still, like, she is not guarding her. They go under a screen on Satou, who's just hit 3 3-pointers in a row. I think they hit her 4th 3-pointer in a row. Like, Satou in the first half was crazy. I am really liking what I'm seeing from Katie Lou, though. And then they leave Satou open again. Like, this defense is horrific. It is absolutely, absolutely horrific. Like, that seal on Courtney Vandersloot, good move. And she got a bucket quite close to the end of the game. Like, that's a nice take. And she got a really, really nice bucket to end the game. Like, this was, I think, with 4 points left to win the game. She got a really nice spin move and big shot over in Alyssa Smith. Like, that was a tough bucket. But, like, see how Alyssa Smith actually guarded that one. So, Alyssa Smith goes under. That's terrible, Alyssa. You're in position. Why did you bring your right leg over? Oh, no. Like, and then turns her body again. And Alyssa still has the same flaws in defense that she had previously. But Satou really did step up. Like, her and Brittany Griner, like 10 of 17 from the field, 29 points is so impressive. And she shot the lights out. Like, that is the offensive player that Satou Sabally is. But, like, if you are Satou, I will say, if you're Satou Sabally, you need to be putting up 20 plus points a game. Honestly, you gotta be putting up 20 plus. Because if you're not putting up 20 plus, she's giving, like, almost 0 on the defensive end. Like, I cannot believe I'm saying this. Katie Lou Samuelson might be a better defender than Satou Sabally. Do they actually have proper player profiles? Oh, cool. They actually do have proper Unrivaled headshots. Like, it'll be interesting to see when that happens. I will say, though, Katie Lou has been... Like, look, I would have thought before who the worst player in Unrivaled was going to be. My first guess would have been Courtney Vandersloot, who I think has been really poor. I then would have guessed... to be fair, I actually would have guessed Azare. But she's actually doing pretty okay. But, yeah, it's a... Like, Katie Lou would have been in my top 5 worst players. But I will say, Katie Lou Samuelson has been solid. She has been solid. And I thought she was solid again yesterday. But, like, Satou, again, fouling out wasn't ideal. Like, I don't even know how to describe how much of a negative she is on the defensive end, but still, if you can put up points like that, you're good. Like, that's what you really have to do. Like, if you're able to put up points like Satou Sabally is, and how quickly you can score, like, that's really what you have to do. Like, she has to be that level of offensive player. And if she's not that level of offensive player, it's going to be a struggle. But she did it. For the first time this season, we have seen Satou Sabally, or this offseason, we've seen Satou look like Satou. Like, we've seen her look like the player that every team is looking at in free agency. I still think she goes to the Liberty. And I think if the Liberty, like, I think what they lose from getting rid of Benijah Laney and gain from Satou, I think is a net positive. I think that is a net positive. But there is a good chance that Stewie might go and take a cheap contract to let Satou come in on a max. Like, there's a 0% chance, which means if they can keep Benijah Laney, they can keep Leonie Fibich. Like, they're not. Like, then maybe it could be for Dallas, Maureen Johannes and Seven is what you're going to be getting for Satou. But yeah, I do think she could be an absolutely massive player for the Liberty next year. I think if you replace her and Fibich, I'm predicting the Lynx to go and win the championship if Fibich is gone in that trade. But yeah, on the offensive end, she is a top 10. No, maybe not top 10, top 5 talent in the W. Just so horrific on the defensive end. And it's being shown. But I always say this, great offense trumps great defense. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, basketball's two sides. Yeah, but if you're good enough on the offensive end and you just outgun a team, defense doesn't really matter. Like, you can be a mid-tier defensive team and win a championship. You cannot be a mid-tier offensive team and win a championship. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to Satou actually freaking playing a good game. So a lot of people obviously are talking about Satou being back, and I mean, it's one decent game out of 3. So I'm not gonna be too like crazy high, crazy overhyping this, but it's better. It is definitely better than what we have seen through the first 2 games. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that Satou should still be the main player for the Fever? Do you guys think that like her other games were a blip, or do you guys think this was just like a one-off good game? I think it's kind of a mixture of both. I think she has the ability to do this in every offensive game, but she's one of those players where if she's not giving you 20 on the offensive end, she's not going to be doing great as a defender. And this is especially for like a player who's meant to be the number 1 option. And the fact is, in the first 2 games, she may not have been better than Katie Lou Samuelson. But anyway, I'll see you guys.